We've all heard the phrase, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. For years, I thought that sounded like wisdom. But the older I get, the more I realize that celebration by itself isn't always a good thing, because sometimes people who celebrate you, they celebrate you for all the wrong reasons. Sometimes they celebrate the version of you that's broken. They celebrate the version of you that's angry. They celebrate the version of you that's crashing out. They even celebrate the version of you that's operating from wounds instead of wisdom. Listen, have you ever noticed that the moment you're being messy, emotional, reactive, reckless, people pull up a front row seat? They're clapping, they're cheering, they're sharing, they're entertained. But the moment you start healing, the moment you become disciplined, the moment you start taking accountability, the room gets quiet. Some of the same people who celebrated your dysfunction become uncomfortable with your evolution. You know why? Because they weren't really celebrating you in the first place. They were celebrating the access to your chaos. And sometimes the people you think are your biggest supporters are actually your biggest enablers. They tell you everything you want to hear. They never challenge you, never correct you, never hold a mirror up to your face. They call it support, but really, it's permission to stay the same. Meanwhile, the people who are lovingly calling you out, the people pointing to your blind spots, the people telling you the uncomfortable truth, you call them haters. You call them critics. You call them negative. When in reality, they may be some of the few people that are really invested in your growth. Not every critique is criticism, and not every correction is rejection, and not every uncomfortable conversation is an attack. Sometimes it's an invitation to just become more. I've learned that celebration without truth can be dangerous. You know why? Because if everyone is applauding you while you're driving off a cliff, what good is the applause? Give me somebody who loves me enough to tell me the truth. Give me somebody who isn't impressed by my excuses. And give me somebody who can see my greatness and still challenge my limitations. Because growth rarely feels like celebration in the beginning. It doesn't. Growth feels like friction. It feels like accountability. Growth feels like someone just holding a mirror where you'd rather see a window. You know what I mean? So, yes, go where you're celebrated, but make sure they're celebrating your highest self, not your lowest impulses. Make sure they're celebrating your growth, not your dysfunction. Make sure that they are celebrating your healing and not your wounds, your evolution, not your excuses. Because the people who help you become better are often worth more than the people who simply make you feel good. And sometimes the greatest act of love isn't applause, it's truth. Come on now. You got this.